Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today it's a really good weather here in Oslo, and the snow is gone, the winter's gone, so I figured, well, why don't I just do a video outside of my house? And yes, so for those who don't know who I am, I've been living in Norway for over 22 years, and also, by the way, welcome to my new channel. Well, not a new channel, but welcome to my channel, new subscribers. So today I'm going to be talking about the 5 things I love about living in Norway. Number 1, there's no formality in Norway. And what I mean by that is, like, when you are around people, you don't have to address certain people by their status or their title. For example, in school, teachers and students call each other by first name, even in the youngest of the youngest, like even in kindergarten. So you don't have to say Mrs. or Mr. that, like in America or in a lot of European countries, and especially in Asia, where, you know, titles are super important. But here in Norway, even at my work, I work at currently in a very big company, and even if I meet the biggest of the biggest boss, if I meet them, they will just shake my hands and say, "Hi, my name is Ole or Eva," or whatever their name is, and they will just say their first name, and they will say, "Oh, what my job is." And when you're working with them, you don't have to address them by any title. You just call each other by first name, and it feels very simple. So that kind of makes the life feel equal here. And this has to do with the law of jante. Like, everyone has to feel equal, and I'm gonna make a new video about the law of jante. But basically it's like, you don't feel like someone is above you just because they have a higher status by their salary or their title. And also, even like politicians, like no matter what title they have, you can just call the politician by their first name. Even when you're gonna have an interview with them, you don't have to say, "Oh, Mr. Prime Minister" or "Mr. Whatever the title may be." You just call them by the first name. And also, of course, if you want to be polite or really formal, you can call them by the title if you want to, but that's more optional. You don't have to do that. I think like they're more formality, I think, in the military. Of course, you may have to call them by sir or sergeant, and, you know, just like everywhere else. But besides the military, I can't think of anywhere else you have to be really formal. Number 2, working in Norway. Working in Norway is really relaxed. You work around like 37.5 hours a week, so it's 8 hours working hours plus half an hour break, so it's 7.5 hours. And of course we get paid vacation for 5 weeks, including a lot of other different holidays. So the lifestyle is really relaxed here compared to a lot of other countries. And of course, not saying that everything in Norway is perfect, and the working labor laws is getting breaked all the time. But we have a really strong union that kind of trying to push the salary up every year. There's a lot of different negotiations, there are a lot of different strike happening once upon a time. Because if they can't come to a deal that satisfies every part, then they will go on strike, and that's what usually happens here. So you have in general like a really relaxed lifestyle. You have, you know, you work 5 days a week, and you get to spend your time with your family and friends and go on vacation, and you feel really less stressed compared to a lot of other countries. Number 3, safety nets. In Norway, just like everywhere else, life can really be bad in a certain times and situations. For example, you can get sick, you can get cancer, you can be in a traffic accident, you can lose your job because the company goes broke, and etc. So in Norway, we have a really good social program for everything. Pretty much everything. Like, I don't know every single detail because I haven't been in all these situations, but there was a few years ago I lost my job because the company moved outside of Norway, and of course I lost my job, and what I did was that I had to go to the welfare system, and they paid me around 60% of what I earned previous years. But in general, safety nets are when bad things happen to people. So not saying that the system is perfect, people do complain about the system all the time, but if you again compare Norway to other European countries, we have some of the best welfare system in the world. Number 4, consumer rights. Now, consumer rights, why that is important? Well, because it helps people to save money. Now, this goes in through the same category as the number 3, part of the safety for your wallet. But consumer right, for example, in Norway, if you buy a product that's supposed to last 5 years or longer, that could be a washing machine, a smartphone, an Xbox, PlayStation, or etc., you will have the right to get the money back for your product if there's something wrong with it. Now, this does not mean that you can just break your phone because you want to buy a new iPhone. It doesn't work that way. It has to be kind of balanced for both sides. So, if you want the money back, you need to have a real good reason. Like, if the phone's not working, well, you can choose to have the money back or get a new phone. And recently in the news, everyone has probably heard that, okay, Huawei has been through some crisis, and Google has kind of cut ties with them, and so did a lot of different companies. And the consumer laws in Norway says that, okay, you as a consumer, if you have a smartphone from Huawei, you will have the right to get your money back, since this is not your fault. And of course, if you're within the 5 years of the warranties, you will have the right to get the money back. Number 5, trust in the society. Now, when I'm talking about trust, I'm talking about like trusting the politicians, the police, the law, and people in general, and of course the media. Now, if any Norwegians are watching this, they're probably going to say stuff like, what are you talking about? We don't trust the media. The media's lying all the time. The politicians are always screwing our lives and ruining our lives and, etc., etc. Yes, that is true to a certain extent. But I will also have to say that in Norway, we trust our politicians more than we like to admit. And we trust the police and the law and everything. Because I come from a country where you pretty much can't trust anything. You can't trust the government, you can't trust the media, you can't trust the law. But in Norway, you can trust the law. Now, not saying, again, it's perfect here. There are a lot of fault, there's a lot of bad things happen, and the police don't always do their job. But generally speaking, Norway is a country where you can feel safe and you can trust the law if you compare to other European countries and in the entire world. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you got some insight and a little more understanding about how life is here in Norway, and hope it makes some sense, and about the 5 things I love in Norway, and like how is life in your country, no matter where you're from. Leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.